Hello everyone. Thanks Yorgos for that fabulous welcome. Heartfelt, beautiful. And I want to pay my respects to the Whadjuk Noongar Nation, First Nations people of this region, always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Well, I've got a new name for the Abbott government. I'm calling them the regressive unravelers, going backwards, undoing a lot of the good work that was done, not easily, but by the previous government in collaboration with the Greens. Going backwards, it's terrible. We're an international embarrassment now, and it shouldn't be like that. We're letting the Great Barrier Reef be trashed. Well, not in our name. It's an icon that we should be proud of, and it's under World Heritage listing, and that is at risk of being downgraded. That's terrible. So the hard slog, many, many years of hard slog environmentalists have put over the 30 years, or actually more like 35 years that I've been involved, the Environmental Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act, at risk of being undone, with Abbott handing back to the states the right to say yay or nay to developments. They don't even want to bother to assess development proposals. Well, we know what way that's going to go. They're just making it easier for developments to do their worst. We've actually managed to upset a few of our neighbours since this government came to power. I suppose you've noticed. You know, we've had a bit of hoo-ha with Indonesia, East Timor. How dare we try to minimise the rights of one of the newest nations and one of the poorest nations on earth in an argument over oil. It is a disgrace. It's an absolute shame. Absolute shame. And of course, this government has gone even further than all the others before it. None of them have been too flash in terms of kowtowing to the Americans, supporting and strengthening that alliance. And it's just outrageous. So one of the new petitions that's circulating today is in opposition to the F-35 fighter jets. Now, there's a cut that the government could make. Millions and millions of dollars going into fighter jets that we don't need. Australia doesn't need such rubbish, but we have it, or we're planning to buy these lemons because they've been struggling to even get off the ground. Lockheed Martin is building them at great expense to us, the taxpayers, and we want a second thought about that. It shouldn't just go ahead. We can cut when it comes to expensive machinery to fit into interoperability, is what they call it, with the United States military. We are not the 51st state of the United States. We want to be independent. And we want to be peaceful. We've got the opportunities to be peaceful with our neighbours, you know, trade instead of war, and cultural exchanges, and getting to know our neighbours rather than threatening them. And that goes all the way up. This time zone, we're right in it, Western Australia, because we're in the same time zone as countries that our government could perceive as, you know, troublesome for us, like East Timor, Indonesia, China, North Korea. We're on the same time frame here in Western Australia, and we have a lot of issues here which many people don't realise are helping the Americans do their dirty work as they watch everybody and send their missiles off and their drones. Geraldton Spy Base helps them do their work. Northwest Cape helps them do their work. Coburn Sound down here is due for an upgrade to take American nuclear submarines. We don't want that to happen. Let's talk about being an independent and peaceful Australia. Climate change is the most significant issue facing our planet, and this government is running away from doing anything about it. They didn't even bother to show up at the latest round of international talks. Didn't even go to the talks. Mind you, if they had gone, they would have embarrassed themselves probably, because they want to undo everything that's been done. Australia is at risk of being the first country in the world to have a price on carbon and then abandon it. How crazy is that? They're letting gas fracking happen on productive farmlands all up and down the east coast, here in Western Australia, and even in our precious Kimberley, which is not productive farmland. It's good for cows, and if you're concerned about animal rights, that's another area where the Abbott government gets not a tick but a big cross. Native forests. Tony Abbott actually said last week there are too many already. We've got too many native. He doesn't understand that the forests are carbon sinks and that they actually help us to deal with some of the carbon that we're producing. He doesn't get it at all about the biosphere and the fact that this is the only planet we've got. I love the sign saying there is no planet B. I mean, this is it, folks. We've got this one to deal with. And this government is taking us backwards.
Money for health and education, not for camps and deportation. Money for health and education, not for camps and deportation. Money for health and education, not for camps and deportation. Money for health and education, not for camps and deportation. Money for health and education, not for camps and deportation.
So they're pandering to the miners, and there's a lovely sign there saying Gina has a few million to spare, ask her, not us. Not a bad idea, but they want to abandon the mining tax as well. And they're pandering to the uranium miners, always on the side of the nuclear industry, which has been in my sights now for 35 years. Now I want it over before I die, finished. But actually, even if we stopped all the nuclear industries that are bothering the world at the moment, we would still have the waste to deal with for countless generations. Let's not make any more of that. Let Australian uranium not fuel any more Fukushimas. Those people are suffering terribly. And the worst is not over for the people of Japan. The worst is not over for the people of the Chernobyl area either. You know, this goes on and on and on. So it's a really hard nut to crack.
What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Have it out! 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 Tony Abbott's got to go!
And in a few weeks' time, the Walkajura walkabout is going to be happening again. and that is organised by the anti-nuclear movement, and it goes on country at the invitation of the traditional owners around Yaliri, which has been a favoured uranium mining site for a long time. So it's a great opportunity to get on the red dirt roads, absolutely beautiful, sleeping under the stars, stories from the elders around the campfire, absolutely beautiful opportunity. So Google that. If you want to look it up, ANAWA, A-N-A-W-A, is the website, and then you can move on from there. Or the Conservation Council of WA. We have great workers in the anti-nuclear movement. So our job, I think, is to survive the Abbott slaughterhouse. You know, cut, cut, cut. It's not pretty, but their cuts are all in the wrong places, as I said before. Now, we can put a brake on Abbott. We have to put a brake on Abbott. The numbers in the Senate are very finely balanced, or imbalanced, whichever way you want to look at it. We've got to get Scott Ludlam back in the Senate with a full quota.